And I'm back. Welcome back to Mellowbot Studio. Hey. That's what's up, right? Don't you love delay? Man, I absolutely love delay. You know, when in doubt, delay about. You know what I'm saying? I think there's something trying to come through the door over here. I don't know if it's a bee or somebody's sawing down a damn tree right next to me in this room with me. I don't know. Could be. Hold on a second. Let me clear my throat. All right. I don't want to do that in your face. So I'm trying to avoid that. Listen, I thought about this. I thought about it. And you know what? I brought you guys in halfway through a mix, right? Threw a bunch of plugins at you. Said, you know, I did this and I did that and kind of showed you, but really didn't show you what I was doing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start this mix entirely over. I brought the kick drum up just so I could set my levels into YouTube with that. And then I'll just go around that. I brought the snare up, kick and snare, and then set levels and whatnot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to only use stock plugins. Really? Look, let me show you. I got it set up over here. I really love Studio One because they have so many plugins to choose from. It's pretty damn awesome. All right. Let's see over here. I've got on each channel a Pro EQ. Now on the kick and bass, I've already taken out 3 dB at 100 hertz on the kick. And then on the bass, 3 dB at 60 hertz. So it's ready to go, ready to rip. Then I've got a de-esser just in case I need it. Then I've got saturation. Okay. Now here's the thing about it. Here's just the very simple and plain about it. These 3 plugins are pretty much, well, with a compressor, but you can get away with just these 3 if you record it right. Look, these 3 plugins, pretty much all you need. A de-esser is kind of a compressor anyway. Then you got compression right here with saturation. Man, you can really get some good saturation. You got so many choices with this Red Light Studio One. It's pretty much the perfect, to me, it's the perfect saturation that you need. You got distortion, you got drive, you got mix, you got everything. Hard tube. I keep it on hard tube, and then I keep the mix knob down, and then on default, and then just bring it in if I need it. Turn it on, bring it in, right? Maybe not. What I'm going to try to do is stick mostly to the board, but hey, you never know. I may just decide to come out here and do some stuff. I have set some things up, for instance, let me pull this up real quick. This is the little shuffle thing that I was telling you about. Woo! That's going to be fun to mess with, but I've already got it set up. I've ran it through an analog delay because I normally use Mixbox, right? And this tape, cassette, and digital delay, but I decided to use the analog delay and the red light. And check this out, though. Look at the difference in sound. Let me bring that back up. I know we're not doing that right now, but let's have a little fun, right? Let me turn the kick off. All right. Now let's go in here with the analog delay and the red light distortion and see what happens. It's obviously louder. Yeah, I love it. Now here's the thing. I want to point this out since I did run into that just then. Hold on. I do not use makeup gain most of the time. I just use the fader. I got a fader down here, and that's what I have my left hand on when I'm turning the knob up here, because I don't want to reach all the way up to the top of this board for all these knobs way up here, right? Especially when I'm on the microphone. So I'll just reach up to this knob, and then I'm going to pull the fader up and down. That's how I'm going to do it. And that is also why I'm going to go ahead and EQ the kick drum and compress the kick drum, right off the rip. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I kind of feel like a lot of people's problem may be the kick drum. You know what I mean? Because there are so many frequencies in there that you don't need, that you don't even know you don't need, right? Until they're gone. You pave paradise and you put up a parking lot. right? Nobody something until it's gone. Anyway, I don't know the song, but check it out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over here and just start doing it. What do you think? You want to? All right. Let's take this kick drum. Now, I'm not going to do anything out here. I'm going to go into the StudioLive. I got it on mute, bro. Why? Oh, okay. Because I had some other shit going on. Look, StudioLive. Now, I'm only going to use the RC500 compressor all the way down, except for, obviously, on the overheads. Well, maybe I'm going to use it on the overheads too, looks like. Okay, whatever. I thought I had something else set up over here. Yeah, on the acoustic, I use this Everest. I'll probably use that on the overheads. I'll just switch it. But right now, we're just going to set up a static mix. First thing I'm going to do, though, is clean out the frequencies on this kick. But what I love to do first is just start with some compression. So let's do that, right? Watch up here, watch the threshold and the attack. Now, the thing about this RC500 is it's set to 3-to-1 compression just right off the rip. There's no changing it. And that's what I like about it. Guys, look, one thing that might help you out a lot is if you just stick with a compression ratio, like when something's fixed like that, 3-to-1 is really good because a lot of people are like, I like 4-to-1, I like 2-to-1. Well, shit, why not just go right in the middle, right? And then you can move the knot, but not on this one. You can't move it, so let's just deal with it, right? It's fun. We're having fun today. Okay, then the attack, this is a FET compressor. So the attack goes from, let me see, what is it? Let me pull this up real quick. 10 milliseconds all the way down to basically 0.50 milliseconds. Really fast, really fast. You barely have to move it. See it moving a little bit? Usually it's around in here and I'm done moving it. Same with the release. The release starts at 40 milliseconds and then it can go, let's see, it can go all the way up to 500. But I start off with the slowest attack and the fastest release when I start to bring the threshold down. And then I'll lock on and then change. This is really just so I can set the attack and release. Okay. And then I'll go in and EQ and then I'll come back and feather the threshold again. So just listen for it. Listen for it. Even if you hear it. Now, keep in mind. Oh, let me show you some other things real quick. Sorry about this. Make sure we're looking at the right thing. Keep in mind, I EQ'd and compressed on the way in. Okay. So it's already hit a compressor. It's already hit an EQ. This is what I started with right here. I also used a sample. So let me show you this. All right. That's my kick. The sub's not on. I didn't use it this time. Then I have a kick gnar. Let me just show you this kick gnar real quick, what it is. Okay. That is, oops. That is just the regular kick with distortion all on it. All right. Then we have the sample. I don't even think I got to turn it up. There you go. And then together, that gives you, now let me just get all these solos off. Right? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. To start, for something to start off with, especially. Geez. All right. Then, yeah, don't be mad at yourself when you do a good job. All right. Let me hit this. We're going to go over here to the, what are we even freaking looking at? We're going to go over here, right? We're on the kick. Let's do it, right? We're going to do anything today. Watch that threshold up here. I would move it with the mouse, but I don't like doing that. I'm going to slam it. Jeez. Yeah, that's FETty. You know what FET? FET stands for Field Effect Transistor. All right, it's squashed. Let's make it not squashed. Ooh. Okay, I like it right there, right now. It's negative 3.67 dB. Now, this is, like I said, just to set the attack and release. What I want it to do is, I want it to, the kick kind of seems flubby, right? A lot of times. So what I want it to do, the attack and release, is to just tuck it in, man. Just tuck it in a little bit, right? I want to take away some of the kick, some of the subby, some of the flabby sub, so I can add my own 60 hertz or whatnot in there. All right, let's go back. We are back. Okay, let's set this attack and release, and then I'll feather the threshold. I'm not done with this. Obviously, I'll be working with it throughout the mix, but let's feather this attack and release, and I want you to listen. It's so, watch this thing. I'm going to barely move it. Watch. See that needle moving now, right? Right there. Now listen, you're going to hear the gate shutting off. It's really not the gate, it's the snare hitting when the gate's almost closed on the kick drum from when I recorded it. So don't let that bother you. It won't stand out in the mix. Now the release, the important part that most people give up on. Let's do it. Watch this release over here. See how it tucked it in right there? Now let's just turn it off and see what happens when we turn it off and turn it back on. It's off right now. All right, just brings it forward a little bit. I didn't mess with the volume. I don't mess with the volume on the kick. I just leave it where it's at, and then I'll turn the faders up and down on the snare and stuff. Now, let's go over here and EQ. Oh my God, this is what I want to EQ immediately. This low mid-range right here. Now, I have it on the board. It's set up at 444.3 hertz. Just that's where it landed. I like repeating numbers, so it landed on that. I was like, cool, because between 400 and 500 is where I'm going to cut it out. So I'm just going to start right there at 444, and I have that set for the kick drum that way. All right, let's listen to it. Let's take it all out. I'm almost willing to go with that, you know? Let's turn it on. You hear what I mean? All that mid-range, dude, when I bring these other things up for the static mix, this is going to help a lot because all that stuff will be gone. Let's listen to it again. This is with it off. You think, oh man, that's got a little reverb in it. So much tighter. You know what? I'm going to give it a little oomph. I hit the wrong button there. Excuse me. I'm going to give it a little oomph, right? I want it to kind of irritate me, so I do come back to it. So let's just give it a little gain down here. I have it set at 5569. It just kind of landed there. Let's boom it a little bit. Let's do it real. Oh, God. I don't think my eardrum started. All right, that's enough for now. I think my eardrum started shaking. Now we're going to do the important work. Well, the cutting the mids out was the important work, but look at this. This range right here, I got it set at right at 6K. I mean, that is where I normally get the knock for for the click. Watch this. Now that's enough for now. I'm going to change it. Obviously, I just want to hype it up to where it stands out as I add everything. And then I've already set. I don't know if I showed you this. Let's see. Yeah, let me see. Where's the input? Oh, it's over here. I didn't have to do that. All right. The high pass frequency, I just set it at 25. I've got everything set, right? So the snare's already set at 77. I'm going to move that, but I set everything at a certain number. Like overheads, I guess they're set at 77. Most things are set at 77. The bass at 66, acoustic at 111. Just kind of get, where I don't have to turn the knob so damn far. I'm lazy. All right, let's go back to this equalizer because not only that, now I'm really going to blow your mind, right? I got this high range or the high. I always leave the high frequency peak off and I let it just be, the shelf. I like the shelf. I like shelf because I can use it as a high pass or a low pass frequency. What am I trying to say, guys? Come on now. But on this, what I'm going to do is, what do you think I'm going to do? Just cut it out at 10K. What? Why did I do that? Now listen to it with the EQ on and off. Turn it off. Right? You see what I mean by that? Look, you don't know what you got till it's gone. All that kind of sounds cool, right? Like, oh yeah, I put that sample in there, got a little bit of reverb, got a little room reverb. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then you damn change it out and you hear the difference. You really hear what you took out of it. And that's freaking awesome. I love it. Love it. All right, let's listen to it some more. I've got it off again. Oh, dude, you metal guys out there, 6K, my man, 6K. And then you can't even really tell that I took out all of that, whatever it is, 10K, 9.99, whatever, 10K. You can't even tell that I took that out because, and what that's going to do is it's going to cut out all those frequencies in the high end to not be competing with the high end. So you can be able to hear the splash of the snare more, the guitar high end, the cymbals, right? Loving it. Let's get this snare in here. What the hell are we doing, guys? Screwing around with this kick. Now we got more room for everything to come up, so you don't even have to do so much EQ on everything else. So let's start there. Let's bring this snare drum in. Let me select it and move over to this. Yeah. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is we're here to do a static mix, right? So I brought up the snare. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm going to bring up everything, and then we'll talk about some shit, and then we'll go into mixing it. We may mix some of it today. I may not have enough time, bro. Let's just pull this stuff up. Let's go with the overheads. See what we got. Right? I think I got to show you something else here. I did cheat also on the snare. I probably use more. There's a real high pop, just crack in the snare that just sometimes is like I don't know what it is. But I know I can handle it with a de-esser. Man, StudioOne makes some of the best plugins, probably the easiest and best de-esser I've ever used. I love it. Look, let me just point this out. And I'm being serious when I say I love it, because let me bring up something else here. Where are we at? Dynamics? Okay. Not that de-esser. Let me try this one down here. Okay. Look, I paid, what was it, $100, $150, something like that for a bundle of plugins. ikmultimedia. I got a shitload of them. I got all of their T-Rex 5 stuff. Man, it's awesome. But I've used this thing, and I just can't get it right? And I want to use it because I paid for it. I'm pissed. You know what I mean? Because I paid for it. I want to use it. But no, I just don't like the way it sounds. I don't know what it is, man. I paid for it. But I also paid for this de-esser. You just never think of stock plugins as, yeah, I paid for that. But dude, I was trying to use it one day, and then I pulled this up, and it was like, boop, 2 seconds, right? Because you can literally hear the. Let's see what it does to the snare. Actually, let's solo that snare and see if you can hear any difference at all. See, you can see every once in a while it'll pick it up. I may go a little lower on it later on in the mix when I hear everything. If it stands out too much, I'll go, because I found the frequency. I mean, close to it anyway. I like repeating numbers, so I get as close to it and find a repeating number. Weird. Anyway, best plugins, man. De-esser, the saturation, pretty much anything you use from StudioOne is just going to work. just going to work. I pulled that Pro EQ up earlier. Now look, you can see the band controls and everything if you want. I just leave it off. I like that sleek look. I got it programmed to the board up here. I can use it. Anyway, let's go back over here. Sorry about that. Little side. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Static mix. Let's keep going. Nope, I soloed that, didn't I? I'm like, I'm turning it up and I'm not hearing anything. All right, go back over here. Boom. Now we're on the snare. Now we're on the overheads. Let's go. Shit. Now you're probably going to see me close my eyes quite a bit. I recommend that, guys. If you let me go back over here for a second. Listen, I'm a Generation X. People around my age, we interfaced with things with knobs and buttons, right? We didn't have flat screens. Now the younger generation are cool with it. They're like, sweet. That's how they interface with the music. That's how they interacted with the music and connected with the music, right? That's how we did it back in the day. We had knobs and buttons on everything. That's why a lot of times when you're using the mouse, the computer, the thing, whatever it is, you feel a little disconnected from the music. And that's why I like knobs. If you can get yourself a little thing, man, there was this Behringer BCM something. It had faders and knobs, just tons of them, like 2 or 3 layers, man. I regret getting rid of it. I bought it for $25 at a pawn shop. I used it for years and years and years and then sold it for like $300, man. DJs were into it. And I was just like, wow. And I totally regretted it, like pretty much immediately, because I really think that's a good way to interface with music. And also when you close your eyes, it really does something to your hearing, to where it stands at attention. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna figure this out. And then you can hear everything better. So what I like to do is close my eyes and listen for it. And what I'm trying to listen for when I bring up the overheads is the snare just getting a little bit more reverb. And then I'll add the rooms and give it a little bit more reverb. And it should ring out. It should bring the ring, even though, I mean, check this out. I didn't start with a ring. I started with this over here. Let's see what the snare top and snare bottom just sounds like on their own. Yeah, I added the ring with a sample down here somewhere. There it is. Okay, and the reason I did that is because I used one of my wooden, excuse me. I used one of my wooden snares on here, and I just missed the sound of that ring of the damn metal snare. I got a Ludwig 8-inch thick Ludwig super light, and it's metal. All right, back to it, man. Sorry about this. Keep coming out of the scene here. Where we at? Okay, I think we're on the right place. Let's do it. All right, that's pretty good for now. Probably, obviously lower it down or do whatever later. Let's bring in these rooms right beside it over here. All right. Oh, is that too high? So much pressure. Now you can hear a little bit of the woof, woof on the sides with that room. Now I may cut that out a little bit later, but obviously I can want to hear a little bit of that because it helps give a little movement to the guitars when they're doing stuff, because you're not going to hear that. You're really not going to hear that. Anything that kind of adds movement is cool, and that's why I use the thing on the list next, the one that's, absolutely jamming because of that red light I put on it. Let's hear that in solo again. Or let's just bring it up in the mix and see what it sounds like, actually. Look at that. Now, I'm not going to have it that loud either. Nothing's going to be this loud probably, but I don't know if I said this before, but I learned that little trick from Vance Powell, who used a little, he Sputnik Studios. I think he did a lot of stuff with the White Stripes and stuff. He used a little center mic, and he put a delay on it, and he said it just gives it a little shuffle. And obviously it's not going to be that loud in the mix. I just like the way it sounds right now. Plus, sometimes you want to be like, oh yeah, reminded later on, oh yeah, that's there. I need to do something with that. All right, let's keep going over here with this. Boom. Now we're going to bring in the toms. You know what I like to do with the toms? I just bring them up to around here. My name's Doug, and I'm out of here. All right, we'll just hear them as they come in. Let's bring up these bass. There they go. Yeah, you can hear them a little bit. The overhead's something's already getting my nerves over there. The snare sounds like shure. Now, in order to get that, that kick is strong, man. And think about it. Think about this. I'm mixing in headphones. Look, I don't mix in headphones. I mix with. Don't laugh. I got the KRKs, homie. If you know, you know, right? I got them mates. I got a sub, right? And I go to town, man. I got my little. Did you see my damn room fix? Let me show you that real quick on the master bus over here. Look, this is my room EQ. Damn, son, turn that on. See what that sounds like on your end. Now it's really pumped. That's my room EQ. All right. Now also, I don't know if I told you, we got a compressor, but I'm just going through it. I'm not really compressing anything right now, unless it's hitting it. Let's see. Is it hitting the needle? Damn. Nah. I'll pull that down later. All right, then, where we at? Ooh, acoustic. Now look, I've already got a little, are we looking at the right thing? Okay. I've already got a little something on the acoustic over here. I got that distortion. Oh, man. I'm telling you. Look, 66.6, man. What? That's evil as fuck. Listen for it. Now, it's going to be loud and soft. I ain't worried about it. Oops. What am I doing? I'm trying to solo something here and bring it up. This is what this guitar sounds like. Ooh, you hear me moving around and shit? Now listen when I turn this on. I'm moving the fader so I can keep it. Yeah, I like it with it on there. It gives it a little bit of just drive, you know? So it can cut through the mix. Let's hear what I'm doing with it right now. Let's pull it up. Dang, that kick drum. Oh, like I was saying, I don't normally mix with headphones. So that kick drum is already kicking me in the head. I know if you got a sub on, man. Sorry about your sub. Sorry about your sub, but I like it like that. So that way later when I bring it down, it's like, oh man, it seems like when I mix everything in and I bring the kick drum down later, it takes the pressure off and it's like, oh, it's mixed. It's a weird thing. Anyway, let's bring in the vocal. I'll mess with the guitars here in a minute.
taking over and I don't
pretty much pulled it up at the right time, but I'm going to get it to where I start over here so that way I'm not starting so damn late, homies. Look at all these vocal dubs and stuff down here. What? What? These are other mixes I've done. Yeah. Yeah, look at that one. What the hell? Dub 3. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing over here? Whoa, whoa. Dude, I'd like to go back to my mixer. Were you even looking at that? Hold on. Yes. Okay. Still learning how to do this. All right. So we got the vocal in there. Let's hear that again. Let me go over here to the vocal. I just use the same going to use the same compressor and equalizer.
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over and I don't give a damn about what you got going on here.
All right. Now you'll look up there. I got that high pass to 111 hertz. I want you to notice the difference when I click on the dubs. 222 hertz. Let me explain. Now, with dubs, here's how I record, right? I record a main vocal. That's the one you just heard, right? Then I record two just like it, just as close to it as I can get, which causes the chorusing effect, right? So, I put those two, boom. Those are the lead dubs, left and right. Full left, center, and right, homie. Everything's left, center, and right, except for, let me think here. Toms, left, first one's 50, second one's 50, third one's all the way right, fourth one's all the way left, and then harmonies, same thing. I got 4 harmonies. You'll hear that in a minute. Excuse me. Then I do 2 dubs where I'm yelling or kind of talking louder, more aggressive. Then I do a dub 5. That's 3 and 4. Dub 5 is alive, baby. I stand back in the room, try to give it more reverb, and just yell as loud as I can into the mic. And I fuck up, man. I'll get it to where I strain my voice, but I don't care. You in the mix, it ain't gonna be any big deal. And then I do 4 harmonies, and you'll hear those. But the reason why I high pass them so high, and I'll probably go higher, 250 hertz, 300 hertz. I don't know. Just depends on what I feel like that day, this day. But the reason why I go so high is because with backups and harmonies and dubs, I want them to be compressed as fuck, and I want them to be basically just the fundamental frequency, but not a telephone voice. So you got to spread it out a little bit. So I'll bring it up until it's paper and then back it off and then take out the high end. I don't want none of the high end either. I don't want nothing competing with the main vocal. I just want it back there like a whisper in your ear. Then I'll add reverb and stuff like that later. I usually do all that at the end or towards the end when I'm starting to get the mix together. Now, that's why I do that. And then let's talk about compression. In a dense mix like this, right? The vocal, right? I don't know if you can hear it there, but there's one part where I'm in and out of the microphone. I got excited, man. I was fucking getting into it, right? Now, I know how to use a mic, but you wouldn't know it on this channel or by this song. But listen, I was in and out of the mic. I'm going to have to compress that and try to keep it. I want everything in a dense mix like this just in its spot, compressed as fuck, and just pop, 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 punching you in the fucking face from that spot. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm about to do. Warm it up, Chris. Yo, that's what I'm about to do. All right, where we at? Oh, okay. Let's talk about these dubs. Let's move down a little bit. All right, then. All right, let's pull up the dubs. Now, what I do is when I get the vocal close enough, what I like to do is just, let me see if I can do it on the, where do I need to do this at? Let's go up here. Yeah, let's go up here. Let's take all the yellow, right? Boom. Shift it. We're going to solo just the vocal because what I'm trying to do now is just blend everything with the vocal. All right. And then we can move it up and down later. I just get everything to it because I don't want it disturbing the vocal, right? A lot of people, I feel like, want to put everything in there, but let's go with it. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Sorry if you can hear that, Weedy.
Here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over and I don't give a damn about what you got going on Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere. Hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear. And it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear. And it doesn't really matter, cause I don't really care anymore.
Sorry you had to hear that shit. Turn it down.
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And
There we go. I didn't close my eyes, but it locks in on a certain spot where it's just barely there, man.
Yeah.
Let me do the right one.
Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere.
Right. And you're going to see why I do that. I may bring it up later. I may not, but I got a lot more to add. So let's keep going.
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere. Hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear. And it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear. And it doesn't really matter, cause I don't really care anymore.
Gotta tame those. Here's my favorite one. Let's try it over here on dub 5 here. Boom. I don't know why it says drum.
Yeah.
And change all these.
Here I am, I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere. Hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear. And it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear. And it doesn't.
It's obviously going to have a lot of stuff in the mix. I got to compress it and do all kinds of shit. But let's bring up the harmonies. We'll just bring all those up at once and you can see what I do. I do a high, I do a really high, a mid-high, a really low, and a mid-low.
Yeah.
I'll bring them up.
Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere. Hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear. And it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear. And it doesn't really matter, cause I don't really care anymore.
There we go. Damn it, locked in.
Yeah.
Start over. Sorry you have to hear this over and over, but
Here I am, I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede.
there we go. Now, pretty much got the static mix. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's go back over here. Man, unsolo. All right, then. Let me click off that just in case I decide to do something later. I'm not adding it to everything. Now let's hear everything, right?
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over. And I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna
Man, not a bad static mix. We did it. Now, I want to do something real quick before I forget, though. This dub 5, right? This guy. I'd normally add a reverse reverb that is from ikmultimedia. Now, I don't know if... Where's the reverb? I don't use... I'm wondering if Mixverb has any kind of reverse capability. Doesn't look like it. But I'm going to keep that in there because I only want to use plugins. So let me just... All right. So here's what I'm going to do for when we actually sit down and mix this then. Oh, I wasn't even looking at that. Okay. So let me You weren't even looking at it. Okay, right here. Mix verb, dub 5. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that track and I'm going to duplicate it. And then Studio One has where you can just bloop, 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 edit, drop down, reverse it. I'm going to reverse that and then send that through the reverb or maybe have the other one in the reverb, whatever. We'll do it in the mix, but I'm going to definitely do that because I like a little in the background too. So it kind of brings you to the vocal, you know. Hey, here I am coming, I'm taking over, you know. I don't know if I demonstrated that well or that was stupid, but anyway, look, we got a static mix, guys. Cool. You want to hear it again? Let's go. Let's go hear it again real quick. Let's go hear it again. Let's just listen to the whole thing. Maybe we won't listen to the whole thing, but let's listen to what we have so far, right? Maybe we don't need to.
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm coming in and I'm taking over, and I don't give a damn about what you got going on. Here, follow my lead. I'm gonna fuck up everything you love and need. Oh boy, you better concede, cause I'm going nowhere. Hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear, and it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear, and it doesn't really matter, cause I don't really care anymore. Don't care. You wonder? Save me from myself. Yeah.
It's blasting off over here.
Well, goddamn, I gotta get up in the middle of everything. I can. You don't wanna speak, you don't wanna stand, you don't wanna breathe if you don't wanna catch these hands. Tell me on the way, I got a feeling I'm about to bust loose any day now. Tell me I can stay, I got a feeling I'm about to make it home. Either way now, hey, it's just one more bottle, I swear, and it doesn't affect me anyway, I swear, and it doesn't really matter, cause I don't really care anymore. I'm over it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm over it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm over it. I needed this.
All right. We'll stop it there. I just wanted you to hear the beginning of that. The bass sounds really good there. It's going to sound even better because I normally put bass through chorus and everything. We'll do that later. Anyway, we got a static mix. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Let me know if you want to know or hear about or talk about anything else. Let me know if you want to tell me about some stuff because I'm into that too. I'm into to learning while I'm here. All right, then.